Hey everybody, today we're checking out a couple of unique amps and microphones made by Schertler. Schertler, of course, is a famous brand from Switzerland that specializes in acoustic instrument amplification, microphones, pickups, blenders, mixers, PAs, and everything that a professional acoustic musician would need. I've been using the Schertler DIN microphone, which is a clip-on microphone that attaches to the bridge. In case of a classical guitar, it attaches to the bridge. In case of a flamenco guitar, it would be applied on the tab, just below the bridge. To answer a couple of questions that come to mind right away, is it safe to attach the potty to the top of the guitar if the guitar is French polished? Yes, I've done so many gigs using my fine classical guitars and I never had an issue. Another question that people usually ask right away, well, is this cord sturdy? Does this fall off when you are at the gig situation? And no, I've played about 400 gigs using this system, and not once I had an issue that it just fell off or I tripped over the cord. And the cord is pretty sturdy, and so that has never been the issue. Finally, I bought a Schertler amp Julia X to work well with this pickup. So because the way they built this, you want the frequencies to be aligned, and that's usually very helpful. The pickup DIN is the most natural pickup that I've played, and trust me, I've tried everything. I won't name now the companies, but we all agree that we don't like the nasty piezo sound. The sound is plasticky. It's just very tight. There is no natural sound. There is no feeling of the music coming alive when you're playing with a standard piezo type of setting. It might be the loudest, but it's definitely not the most natural, the most beautiful sound. Also, in terms of picking up details from the right hand, it always sounded to me like something is choked. It choked the music and life out of the instrument when you're playing it. Let's not confuse how certain things are loud with what sounds natural and beautiful. Just because something is projecting and sounds loud doesn't mean that everybody can hear the sound all the way back in the concert hall. With this kind of system, once I started playing it, I felt better about my playing, I felt better about the music, and I started noticing the crowd being more into it. And it's explained very simply. It just sounds better, it projects better, it's more natural, it's more of what the instrument actually sounds like. Okay, so the amp Julia X is a 70 watt amp specifically built for acoustic instruments. So right away I'm getting a very natural sound. It's got all the things that you want. You have a DI out, you have microphone in. There's a couple of things, usual stuff: gain, master, volume, highs, mids, lows, and a really nice reverb unit that I'm using right now. It doesn't require, it has phantom power, so in case of this microphone it requires phantom power. So before you're buying it, make sure that the amp actually has it. I know AER, Schertler, they have it built in, but some Fishmans and Bose and whatever people are using don't have that. So don't buy the microphone or the pickup and try to make it work with your Fishman. You gotta check it out for yourself. The amp is super light and compact. It's super easy to it was super easy to dial in a very solid sound. This is not how I would set it up. I would usually set up the amp behind me so that there is no, it's not close to the instrument, and eventually it will create a feedback. But if the amp is behind you, you are safe. It won't be making any. At least when I was playing it in the shows, I can turn up quite loud and not get any feedback issues. But this being right next to each other, that's not how I set it up. I set it up only because so you can see the amp, what it looks like, and hear what it sounds like. I'm gonna turn up just a little bit. Very mellow and beautiful sound, but it's clean. It's exactly what I want, because when you're playing a cheaper amp, the cheaper amps, they have a built-in compression, so it gives you a sensation that that the sound is very loud and very direct, but it cuts off the musical part. So if you're trying to play very dynamic, there is a very small range where you're playing really soft and trying to play louder. It won't pick that up. It will pick up just sort of in between, because the sound is compressed, kind of like when you compare vinyl versus CD. Vinyl is just going to have a really big range, and the CD is just going to sound compressed and flat. So let's see how it responds to what I was just talking about, being musical and playing with dynamics. Now, it's immediately very musical. I was trying to do a crescendo over the chord. Everything came through. Let's see how it responds to playing sul tasto and ponticello. Beautiful. Another challenge with generic piezo pickups is that it really kills all the pull-offs, pull-ons on the left hand. Pull-offs feel amazing. There is a lot of left-hand detail that we usually don't even go for, because all the nuances are lost when you don't have an option like this. Okay, so the guitar spruced up, in my opinion, it responds equally good to spruce and cedar. I do prefer the spruce because it's more of a clear sound. It's very clean, it's very clear, so if there is nothing to kind of add to the sound, like cedar would sometimes sound a little bit muddy or dark, and in this case I just hear everything that I'm playing, and it's clean, and I like it because if I'm playing really well, great, but if I'm playing poorly, the amp doesn't cover it up for me, so I have to only play myself. Like I said, switching between the instruments has been super easy. For example, I've been doing shows playing half on the classical and half on the steel string guitar. So let's see how long it takes to to switch from classical to steel string guitar without turning everything off. There we go. Beautiful sound. I'm getting exactly what I think. I think I would add a little bit more mids and low end, but you know, if you are like me, you know, somebody who is playing both acoustic and classical guitar, and you're playing gigs, and you just don't want to take a guitar with a piezo pickup anymore, or you have a really nice concert quality classical guitar, and you want to use it at an event, at the concert, playing chamber music. I've actually used this a couple weeks ago playing with violin and cello, and it cut through perfectly. So you know, super practical, super easy, and you know, one of the best things that I've found in recent years. Also, question comes up like, well, does it pick up the first and the second string more than the rest? Here is the answer. It's fully balanced. So it's gonna sound very even and very, you know, nothing is really popping out. So there you have it. Awesome stuff by Schertler. I've done a couple of previous videos doing a similar kind of demo, but I want to do it more because we are becoming a dealer for all the products that Schertler makes. So the amps and the microphones and the blenders and whatever they have will be available on my website, acousticstationcentral.com, and we're excited to work with them. What a great company. Finally, somebody has come up with a product that works really great. You don't need to drill a sound hole. If you find something better, something else, great. Take it off, and you don't have to drill the guitar and damage your beautiful instruments. Write me your opinion on this, what it sounds like. Tell me what you use. A lot of people in the classical guitar world use those microphones that are attached here. And now with, maybe that's gonna sound really great at home, but I've heard and I've seen disastrous situations where you are left at the mercy of the sound guy who's never listened to classical guitar and quite frankly just doesn't care about creating a great sound, and those things can be really difficult to manage without having an amp and just showing up with a few microphones on the side here. With this guy, you are in control of your own sound. If you have a blender or like I'm using an amp, you adjust everything to your liking as a monitor, and then you go into the house, and hopefully the sound person will know what to do. But in this case, if something is off, you can self-correct in no time. That's all I got for you. All right, cheers.